Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Julie Griffin, and I'm here with my husband, Fred MacDonald, and this is the very first time that we're launching the World Vegan Assembly. And this is set up so that we can help assist and provide spiritual nourishment to other vegans and share in the beauty of the vegan lifestyle. So I hope we'll have some people joining us today, but it's all going to go the way it's supposed to go. So I've decided to just sit back and be grateful that we have this great technology and this wonderful lifestyle to share with each other. Chat a little bit about how the vegan lifestyle has benefited us and what different types of vegan there are out there in the world. And we'll do a nice meditation, some prayer, and we'll send love around the world. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching, whether you're watching us live today and joining us on Thanksgiving or joining us at some other time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. You can get settled in. You can relax. You can feel a divine energy surrounding you and embodying you. And you can be happy, feel happy to be alive. And perhaps now, while we're waiting for people to join us on the vegan call, let's just talk a little bit about our immune systems and how we can decide to relax and to let energy move and flow freely through our bodies. And as we do that, we are as comfortable as possible and our immune systems can function the best. And that puts us in the safest position against any foreign invaders, including COVID-19. It's a very special year we've got going on here. But we know that by exercising, drinking plenty of water, taking time to meditate and pray, and of course, that healthy diet, that healthy vegan diet, will all set you up in the best possible light to be healthy and to get through this pandemic, as of course you all will. But you can decide to be healthy through your thoughts, through your actions, and that's all just grand. Let's start with a prayer. Mother, Father, and God, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a non-denominational service, and you can accept the light of the divine in any way you want, or not at all. You can view it as your own light. But let's go in with an appreciation of the divine, of spirit, of your higher self, your higher purpose, whatever brings you comfort. Feel the love, feel the light shining through your body. Feel the presence perhaps of your ancestors in spirit. Your loved ones here, there, and perhaps afar, sharing in this day with you. And let us wish them all well. And let's wish the world healing. Wish that all beings be happy, happy, happy. Amen. And thank you. Is there anything you would add to a prayer, Fred, if you were going to say a prayer?
Yeah. Amen.
Amen. He's a man of few words, except for when he wants to talk. Are you in? Did we let SUBHASH in? SUBHASH, you can unmute.
I'm here.
Okay, it's nice that we're here together, and the Facebook feed will go on and on and on after this moment. So thank you for being here. Anything. I like to start with a meditation. Taking a long, slow, deep breath. And exhale. Another long, slow, deep breath. And exhale. A third long, slow, deep breath. And exhale. Feel yourself breathing in pure white light and healing energy and the love of the universe. That's right. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling love and exhaling peacefulness throughout your being. Inhaling peacefulness and exhaling love. Inhaling warmth and allowing warm feelings of peace to roll through your body as you exhale. Very good. And now you may continue to breathe at your own pace. And it may seem as though the air is breathing for you. And you may notice that as the air breathes for you, that it breathes slowly and deeply, all the way down through your relaxed arms and legs, all the way down through your fingers and toes. That's right, feeling the breath coming in and exhaling away any stress or tension you've been carrying. Feeling that revitalizing oxygen going through your body as you inhale, and feel a light of joy in your heart as you exhale. Very good. Once again, breathing at your own pace. And if you so choose, you can feel a beautiful glow or a rainbow of colors circling around the crown of your head, opening up your higher mind to the deeper truths, to your own personal recognition of what's really important, what's good for you. And of course, what I'm talking about is your full and complete enlightenment, however you perceive that. That's right. Opening your mind to deeper truths, knowledge, peace, and also so that you may connect with all beings in all places and send love freely throughout this session to the entire world. And perhaps the thought, may all beings be happy. May all people be at peace. May we all recognize that we are all one spirit in this universe. Breathing and relaxing now as the warm, beautiful colors roll through your third eye region, that space between your eyebrows, which also helps you to see clearly and know your truth, and to see any obstacles that might stand in the way of your truth. And feeling the relaxation now rolling down through your face and your jaw, and feel your throat relaxing, and allowing the glowing, streaming, healing, beautiful colors to move through your collarbones and down through your shoulders, into your arms, your elbows. That's right, let the color and light cascade through your elbows and down your arms, into your wrists, hands, fingers, and fingertips. Breathing and relaxing as you continue to get in touch with what is important to you and your own truths and your own highest good. And as you grant yourself permission to become your best and happiest self, your most divine self, your most enlightened self, your happiest self. Breathing and relaxing as you feel the beautiful colors and the energy now rolling through your throat, helping you to speak the truth to yourself and others about your needs and anything that you wish to say. That's right. Your throat, as you focus on beautiful colors moving through your throat, communicate beautifully, effortlessly with the world around you. Whether they're in your home or whether they're on the other side of the world, you can communicate through your thoughts, through your beliefs, through your actions, the love that you want for the world, the peacefulness. And you may know that as you become peaceful, peace becomes you. And that peace begins inside each and every one of us. And as each of us allows peace to grow and blossom and bloom inside ourselves, we each and every one of us become, in part, the healers of the universe. Breathing and relaxing now as your heart begins to glow with gladness. And if there's been any difficulties in your heart, any stress or tension, you can imagine that they're just temporary issues, and that your heart is like a beautiful white rose, a beautiful white rose. And even if there's been some damage done emotionally, physically, or spiritually to your heart, you can imagine that only the outer petals of that rose have been damaged. And you can peel away in your mind, you can let go of the outer petals and knowing that you have an endless number of perfect petals inside you, perfect petals of love, of peace, of joy, of happiness. And you may blossom and bloom endlessly, and you may bring forth more and more beauty, more and more light, more and more happiness throughout your being and into the world. That's right. Through your loving and healing actions, including eating a healthy diet, a diet that is kind, a diet that supports you and supports the world, or at the very least, does not tax the world. Breathing and relaxing as your heart glistens and glows with gladness and gratefulness. And as your heart continues to glow with gladness and gratefulness, you may now focus on all the things you are grateful for. And as you breathe and relax, I'm going to be silent for a moment as you focus on what you are grateful for. Very good. And no matter what's been on that list or who's been on that list, you can now add more people and more truths, things to be grateful for, as I again remain silent for a moment. Gratitude is such a blessing and such a gift. It's a gift you give to yourself because it helps you to recognize your blessings. It helps you to know that you are blessed. Because in truth, each and every one of us is a sacred, holy being, just as all living things, all of life itself is sacred and holy. Yes, of course, we are all mortals. That's right, we're perfectly mortals. And maybe imperfectly perfect. The fact is, we are all sacred, all holy. We are all capable of doing our best and supporting ourselves and others in the highest ways. And you may take some time now and see yourself doing that very thing. See yourself treating yourself with love and respect. Your heart is still glowing with joy. See yourself being kind to yourself first. Knowing that as you know kindness, your own kindness especially, it is most easy for you to spread kindness to others because your vessel is full. That's right. Fill yourself up with harmony and your own loving kindness. That's right. Fill up the vessel that is you with love, with gentleness, with loving kindness. You will always have enough. You will always have more than enough to share with others. Peace, love, harmony, gentleness. And now you can take a moment to get in touch with your own sacred holy energy. The part of you that is divine, that is the divine. Because in fact, that's 100% of you. But sometimes we fail to recognize the divine in ourselves. We fail to realize that we have everything that we need, that we are blessed, that we are a spark of light that came down from the heavens, and that we can use that gift of birth, that gift of who we are, to be happy, happy, and to spread love and light and healing throughout the world with our own peacefulness and our own kindness and our own responsible behavior. That's right. There is enough to go around. We have enough. And we can choose wisely all that we do, the conversations that we have, who we hang out with, what we let pass through our lips, both inward and outward. And we can choose with tremendous wiseness. That's right. We can think about everything that goes into our body, and we can think about our thoughts and love coming out of our bodies. And as such, it becomes easier and easier to eat, even with loving kindness, to eat so that the world has enough, so that the air, seas, and skies can all flourish, so that everyone in the entire world has enough food and water. That's right. As we eat healthy plant-based diets, the world is a kinder and gentler place, and all our resources are safeguarded. And let me share with you, one of the most important resources to safeguard is your own physical body. That's right. As you eat beautiful plants, healthy plants, legumes, and make delicious vegan meals or vegetarian meals, if you will. But for us, it's vegan. But everybody is in their own journey here. So whatever is right for you. But as you eat more vegetables, you're eating more life. And as you take the meat off the plate, if you haven't already, you are letting beings live. And you are living a spiritually congruent life as you let go of old norms and old habits that tax your body, that prevent you from thriving, and go into relaxation, right? That's right, further into relaxation as you think about what crosses through your lips, outwardly and inwardly. And you can ask yourself, when you eat, is what I'm eating going to help me, or is it going to be less than ideal for me? Is the food that I eat going to prevent the world from thriving, or is it going to help someone to thrive? Ask yourself that. What is your choices? And now ask yourself, is what you are putting out through your lips in the terms of words and love and kindness, and out through your eyes and out through your heart, are those going to help you to heal and bring energy into your body, or are they going to prevent you from healing? And of course, you know the answer. If you are treating yourself with loving kindness and showing loving kindness and peacefulness to the world and supportive words to others, then of course, everyone around you will thrive. And that begins inside of you. Continuing to breathe and relax now as the healing energy and any helpful thoughts you've had blossom and bloom like seeds blossoming inside you, and feel them traveling through your pancreas, through your liver, through your spleen, down through your abdomen and all its organs. That's right, your heart, your chest, your lungs, and all your organs are now glowing with peacefulness and healing energy. And now feel that energy moving into and out of the base of your spine. And you can release any remaining tension or stress from your body out through the base of your spine. And relax further, go further into the feelings of comfort and peace. And if helpful, once again, see that rose in your heart blossoming and blooming. See loving words flying out through your lips and loving light flying out through your eyes as your legs and feet all relax now, beginning at your buttocks and your thighs and your knees, relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And your shins and your ankles and your heels, relaxing, feeling that beautiful glowing light and the light force energy, the healing energy of the universe now, rolling from the crown of your head all the way down into your feet and toes. And allow that energy to move and flow into any areas of your body that require loving and healing attention. And so they are, and so it is, and so you are healing. And as you continue to feel the relaxation, if you so choose, you may think to yourself the words, I am. I am. I am. And that is a signal to connect you to your own divinity, your own sacredness, your own holy light. I am a part of the purity that is the light force of the divine. I am. I am touched by the divine, connected to the divine, a part of the divine. And now you may also say to yourself, in light of the current climate of the world, I am okay. Like there are 4 letters. I am okay. I am okay. And as you say those words to yourself, not only do you connect to your knowledge of yourself as a sacred holy being, but you also fortify your immune system with the words, okay. I am okay. And I would like to share with each and every one of you on this call, you are okay. That's right, you are okay. And uttering the words or the letters I am is a sacred holy gift you give to yourself. Uttering the words you are is a gift you give to each other, especially as you follow it with helpful, positive words. I am okay. You are okay. I am peaceful. You are peaceful. I am thankful. You are thankful. I am healing. You are healing. And as we eat a plant-based diet, the entire world, including the air, the sea, and the skies, are all healing. I am okay. You are okay. The world is okay as we live a congruent and spiritually congruent life, breathing and relaxing as you now say, I am happy. You are happy. We are happy. Happy and grateful. And now let us say together, I am. I am. I am. I am. And now let's take a moment to send love and light into all the beings in the universe. Sending, 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 sharing, sharing, assimilating. That's right, as we send to the others in the world, we are receiving love simultaneously from them because of the echo and the reverberation of life itself. We are what we do, we are what we think, and as we send love and light out and send healing, we become love and light and we are healed. See the world healing. See people communicating kindly and gently. See nations cooperating with each other. See a smooth transition of power when the time comes. A sharing, a loving. And now send into that circle of love any prayers you have for anyone, or any sharing you want to do as I'm silent for the next moment. And let's keep sending the prayers and the sharing as we all combine with each other's energy fields and send it together. Very good. I am okay. You are okay. And together we are okay. And thankful and peaceful and happy, happy, happy. And with those happy thoughts, those grateful thoughts, those peaceful thoughts in mind, you may return to an awareness of your physical body and come back with love in your heart and peacefulness in your mind to an awareness of the present. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this Thanksgiving meditation. It was so beautiful. And I think we are all very grateful for the gift of life, gift to share our love and interconnectedness with each other, and also the reverence for all life forms, so that they're all God's creations. They're all here to love and respect. And we are here to nurture each other and to be able to see the divine essence in every life form. And all life forms are God's gift to us, so that together we all grow in love, respect, and thank you.
Amen. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, we had a nice visit this morning on our front lawn. There were 10 wild turkeys feasting on whatever nutrition they can get on our lawn. I know our next door neighbor sometimes throws birdseed around, so that might have been what drew them. But it was a nice moment for us to experience 10 live turkeys who reminded us that that's the way we like to see turkeys now, the ones that roam around our neighborhood, not on a dinner plate.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you for sharing that. I meant to mention it and forgot, so you're picking up. Definitely. Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first meeting of the World Vegan Assembly, and I'm the facilitator and founder together with Fred. But the fact is this is for everyone. It's not about me. It's about having a place where we can come together and share the love and the light of vegan and all kinds of other helpful information beyond the service. And I don't know if any of you other vegans or vegetarians out there are lonely, because everywhere you go, everyone is looking at you like you're some kind of freak because you only eat vegetables. So we just want to have a support group and a loving service where we give gratitude, not just on Thanksgiving, but every single day. And we provide that kind of emotional support where we are congruent with what is viewed as spiritually correct. The first premise being, thou shalt not kill. You know, we want them to be more than words that are just written on a piece of paper whose ink is long since been absorbed. And I don't want to get too far into anything other than pleasantness today and thankfulness, but I just want you to understand that that's why we're here. We're here to share. We are here in support, whether you are just starting your vegan transition, whether you have been in it for years, like my husband here has been in it for a decade. He turned me on to it 4 years ago. And I want to say, for those of you who might be just starting your vegan journey, is I always wanted to do it, but so many people talked me out of it. So when I met Fred, he made it easier because I started cooking for him. And I realized the food that I was making him was tastier than what I was making for myself. So it was a pretty easy transition for me because we ate most of our meals together. But no matter where you are, if you want to do this, you can write to me at Julie Griffin Hypnosis at iCloud, and I will share tips and recipes and YouTube links and whatever you need to get you going. There's also all kinds of movies you can watch, among them Game Changers. The one that helped me the most to make the change was called Earthlings, but Cowspiracy is another one. The book, The World Peace Diet by Dr. Will Tuttle was one of my first exposures to his thought process is that, that we'll be more peaceful when we're behaving peacefully. That's just the basic premise. Again, I don't want to go too far into some of the less lovely truths of certain eating habits. So what was the other book? Tell them about how you started, Fred.
Well, I had a problem with skin cancer. I developed some melanomas years ago. I was turned on to this book, The China Study, by somebody that cared for me and knew what I was going through. And once I finished the book, I realized that one of the steps you can take to help keep cancer away is to stay away from animal protein, because one of the big findings that the doctor made was that animal protein helps to promote the growth of cancer cells in your body, and plant protein doesn't. As soon as I read that, it was very easy for me to make the change, which I did. Was very happy once I started it and been very happy with it ever since. I also found the vegan diet actually offers you more energy than an animal diet. And if you want to understand what that's about, the movie about all the elite athletes in the world today that are vegan is shown in the presentation, The Game Changers, and a lot of explanation there, talking about how food reacts in your body, actually down to the cellular level, and why plant protein is much better for your body than animal protein. The whole thing is like a secret that I know that I want everybody else to know and to realize, but it's a very hard topic to talk about because of the amount of time that the food industry has been bombarding us with their falsehoods, like about how dairy is good for bones. It actually is the opposite. Dairy weakens your bone. If you are worried about getting enough protein, you have to realize that protein doesn't come from animal. All protein comes from plant. That's the only place where protein can happen. And the reason why animals get protein is because they graze. They eat plants. The animals that we eat are actually eating plants. I don't want to keep going on about this. It's such a easy truth to realize once you get into this mindset. It seems like we're not being all that truthful if we don't try to spread this message to people, because it isn't something that I want to be the only one that's taking advantage of. I want the whole world to be doing this, simply because of the amount of land that it takes to grow the food to feed to the livestock and all the other pretty hidden dangers that go on because of animal agriculture, as far as ruining forests and people cutting down trees to make places to plant food to feed animals. It always surprises me that once people realize that this is not the proper way to go about getting our nourishment, that it just doesn't automatically change.
Yeah. And even lima beans alone have more protein in them than steak. So it's very, very easy to get protein. And in fact, most people get way too much protein and from sources that can cause problems throughout your body. So this is a great way to eat. And I would like to say my handsome husband here is 77 years old, or I should say in his case, 77 years young. And he can go out and ride a bike 20 miles and do all kinds of Superman type things. And that was one of the reasons why I was so attracted to him 4 years ago, because he was an athlete and is an athlete. And that's part of his lifestyle because he eats plants.
Another thing, the only way you're ever going to find out about what this kind of plant-based diet can do for you is in your own, the energy that you get from plants is greater than the energy you can get from eating any kind of animal. And I found that out in my own life because once I committed to doing it, and I did it for health reasons at first, once I committed to getting into this, I was willing to accept the fact that I probably wouldn't be as strong and as able to do the things I did. But fortunately, once you get into it, you realize that you have more energy. And that's part of the tale of that movie, The Game Changers. All these elite athletes who are at the top of their game, and they are telling you that they got better once they became a vegan. It's something that most of the food industries, meat industries especially, don't want out there, but it's creeping into the world anyway. People are realizing it. And the only way you'll ever know is if you do it.
That's right. And I'll tell you, it was the easiest, supposedly hard thing I ever did. And I think most people will find that out because there's so many great things to eat. And there's never been an easier time to be vegan than now because there's all kinds of products that will replace the things that your taste buds are used to. And then very soon you'll realize you don't even need those because your taste buds will come alive and you'll start appreciating the flavor in fresh fruits and vegetables, and you'll need less and less of the burger replacements and all of that. So as with Fred, when I started this journey, I was sick. I was coming off about 20 years of OxyContin that I was taking from my doctor because I have a lot of pain conditions in my body. I was barely able to move off a couch, and I was about 250, maybe 260 pounds. So I lost about 80 pounds in about 6 months, and the first 60 of it was in 3 months. So the weight just fell off on the vegan diet. And then instead of being a couch potato, very quickly I had less inflammation in my joints. So I was able to get up and move again. Within a couple of weeks, I was up on a bicycle. Within a month, I rode from Lynn, Massachusetts to Nahant, which was 10 miles round trip. And that was just amazing, totally extraordinary that I could go from basically being and acting and feeling crippled to getting my athletic journey back on. And it was with Fred's help, of course, but it was also because I had decided it before I met him that I was going to get well and that I was going to do the best for myself. Vegan became the most vital part of that. And there's all kinds of vegans in the world. There are junk food vegans who don't eat meat and don't eat any animal products, but they live on Oreos and chips. And that's okay. If that's the kind of vegan you want to be, many blessings to you, because being vegan is important even if you're only eating junk food, because you're doing no harm to other beings. If you're doing it for the health reason, That's a brilliant thing. That's a great, probably one of the best reasons to become vegan is for your own health and well-being. Because again, as part of the world, as you become healthier, the world becomes healthier. Many vegans believe that you're not a real vegan unless you're in it for the animals. I'm an animal lover from way back, but there's no wrong reason to be a vegan. And if you want to call yourself vegan, whether you're a junk food vegan or you're doing it for the animals or you're doing it to take meat off your plate or your health, bless you. Bless you a million times, because if you are working at this, you are becoming the best possible you by taking steps to be better and to protect the world and to enjoy your life more. So we're all vegans that are doing the work, that are moving towards that goal. And if you are not ingesting animal products and using animal products, then you're a vegan. It doesn't matter how you got in it. Thank you. And I'm thankful for all of you for making that choice, or for deciding to transition, or to listen to us. Fred.
Any of these things that you may be interested in watching, The Game Changers, What the Health, Cowspiracy, they're all on Netflix. All you do, you just tune into Netflix and there they are. Also, if you want to hear one of the best, and I think it's about 10 years old now, maybe not quite, but Will Tuttle did one of his best presentations in Australia. And if you want to hear him speak, all you have to do is key into YouTube Will Tuttle Australia, and you can watch that free.
That's beautiful.
There's no reason for you not to get this information. The information is there. If you are curious, if you want to see other people and how they're flourishing in this lifestyle, I heartily recommend that you do this. I was already into it for many years before I started watching these, and I've turned a lot of people on to watching The Game Changers and gotten a lot of feedback telling me that it's an interesting story, it's fun to watch, there's some really unbelievable people in it, but the information that goes along with that presentation, doctors and scientists talking and telling you about the myths that you've been hearing all your life since you were an infant. And naturally, your parents, well-wishers and well-thinking that they were, passed all that information on to you. So that's how long you've been being bombarded by this information that isn't necessarily true, not true at all.
Yeah.
And so just trying to give a voice to the vegan lifestyle, it meets with quite a bit of opposition. It's very understandable why, because naturally you believe your parents, you believe all the other people, and all the information that comes at you daily on television about how this is good and that's good and all that, and you need this and you need that. It's going to take you making that step away from all that information that you've been hearing all your life. And this is what makes trying to spread the word so difficult for us. But don't be afraid. It's great. You really have to try it.
Oh man, we have the best food. We really have the best food. If you follow my Facebook page, you can see all the great food I'm cooking up. And a lot of it started with Fred's point's well taken about YouTube, because I learned how to cook vegan watching YouTube. I learned where to grocery shop to get vegan and the most organic foods, which you don't have to be organic to be vegan, but you know, the more good stuff you put in your body and the less bad stuff, the better. But all kinds of cooking videos, including things like how to cook 5 days worth of meals for $20 vegan. So like you can learn that not only is vegan good for you, but it will save you a lot of money if you shop well and if you follow this advice. Of course, you can gain weight and you can spend a lot of money being vegan too, just like you can do anything wrong, but your best shot at having a healthy, cost-effective life is through a change like this, and adding exercise and water and prayerfulness and meditation and gratitude. That's what brings us back to today. Gratitude, being grateful.
If I can say something about organic eating, one of the reasons why switching to organic, if you can go that route, is that the reason why there are more organic foods out there is because the demand has increased. Once the demand increases, naturally, the people that want to sell you food, they will lean that way. But the good thing about that is if farmers will grow organic to meet up with the demand for it, they will stop screwing up the land by putting all these things that pesticides and things into the ground where they're growing the food. That's why organic helps to make the world a better place, because you're going to have more and more people who want to sell you their food, growing the organic food because you're beginning to demand it.
Right. And as Will Tuttle, the author of the World Peace Diet that Fred's spoken about here, says, we vote with our money. So if we keep buying food that's not organic, when there's a choice that's reasonable, especially, then we're saying we don't need this, telling the world that it's okay, I'll keep buying this stuff that's lesser. And the same thing with, we vote with our money when we buy food products and animal products. So let's vote for the right stuff. Let's vote for stuff that is great. We're getting ready to wrap up here because we're coming up on the 60-minute mark. And let's just take a moment to just breathe together. And I want to say again, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we have this venue now. I'm grateful for you listening in and being present with us. You can add your own grateful thoughts. You can put them in the chat. You can send it to me at juliegriffinhypnosis@icloud.com. If anybody wants to speak, if there's any other vegan advocates that would like to host a meeting, we want to share. We want other people to come in and join us. And one of the things I'm also thankful for today is that I empowered myself to launch the World Vegan Assembly today. And something told me it was right to do it on Thanksgiving. And it would have been very easy to talk myself out of that, or to think to myself, well, what if people think you're like full of yourself, saying that we're all holy beings? I don't think I'm any different than anybody else. I think we're all holy beings. And I'm just really glad that Spirit has given me the energy and the power, together with the vegan lifestyle, to launch this, because I look forward to being a source, as does Fred and as does anybody else on this call, so that we can all carry the beautiful, divine, shining light of vegan together and do our bit towards healing the world and everything else. Anybody else have closing words before we wrap up? Subhash, thank you so much for adding to the meditation. That was perfect.
Thank you for leading this workshop. This is awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure. We'll be back. I'll probably start doing this about once a week, and it'll probably be Sunday afternoon so people can go to their regular church. I'm not really sure of that, but I'll post it on Facebook so everybody knows. If you have a preference, please let me know. We're trying to pick a time that will be good around the whole world. We'll find a medium time so that people won't have to get up in the middle of the night to come. So thanks once again, and may your hearts be full, your minds clear, and may you live in peace, and let peace become you, and spread light everywhere that you go. I love you all. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy life. Peace out.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Many blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.